welcome everybody. We're going to get started. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Time to look around and engage and greet and welcome each other. And if you're online, be sure and chat. Tell us where you're from.
Happy birthday. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. It's time to sit down. Welcome yourself into your seat. Way to go. You're moving in the right direction. Excellent. All right, thank you so much. So I'd like to wish you all a good morning and welcome to our Sunday celebration service here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Cruz. And if you haven't already, please make sure your phones are silent. And I want to give a special welcome to those of you who are viewing us on YouTube and Facebook. And we're really pleased that you chose to join us this morning. And whether you're here in person or viewing us online, we're so glad to be with you today. Yeah. My name is Sky Leona. My pronouns are her and she. My parents come from Sweden and Wales. This morning we have a very special morning planned for you. We have practitioner Jessica Crease. Okay, I could do this. There's Krizik there and Crease there. Okay. And in the back of the room, Reverend Tamara Merrill is holding the conscious space for us today. We have our musical inspiration today is the CSL Band. I know. So we've got Anthony Steinberg on keys, Scott Nordgren on sax, Brian Quinn on bass, Michael Korvac on vocals and guitar, and Valerie Bryan for our featured musicians. Musical inspiration. That's how I start my morning. Today, our special guest speaker is Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michael Coleman. And Reverend Dr. Coleman has been in New Thought for more than 4 decades within 10 spiritual communities. She became a minister in 2013 and was ordained in 2017. She is the senior minister and spiritual director of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living and has the founding community leader of Authenticity Journey of Renewal. So if you're familiar with that, AuthenicityJourney.org is where you can find out more about that. And this is a CSL-focused ministry launched in 2016 by Dr. Sunshine and has a passion. I'll say that again. This is a CSL-focused ministry launched in 2016. Dr. Sunshine has a passion for uncovering the true authentic self and convening sacred space. She has served on the CSL Global Themes team for 3 years and is also on the CSL Spiritually Motivated and Socially Engaged Committee. She designed a circle series on racial healing, and in 2021 for CSL Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. That has a mnemonic, but I'll say it. BIPOC. Thank you. That's better. I have to say them all. And ministers, practitioners, and laity. She led the facilitation team in the delivery of that series for a total of several hundred people. She is California native and a former human resources professional. Visit Dr. Sunshine Michael, MICHELLE.com. Michelle. Oh.
It's a tough audience.
I can do this. So I'll continue now. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so stay after the service today for our social hour and a potluck. And we have thanks to give to those whose last names begin with C through Z who brought food today. Yes. There's going to be no potluck next week, and we will be downtown at Pride. So join Adora Diva and friends today after service at 12:30 for Dances of Universal Peace. Adora, why don't you stand up? Where are you? Oh, there she is. All right. All right. Great. And we have a foundation class starting on Tuesday, May 30th. Foundations of Science of Mind explores the basic principles and practices of our philosophy, not just for beginners. Join Reverend Elijah for 10 Tuesday evenings. For anyone interested in becoming a member of CSL Santa Cruz, we will be having a new member enrollment class from 12:30 to 2 on June 10th after service. This Friday also we have joint tenants of this building, that is the Shadis Yemenu. They are going to have a special Sabbat service dancing the Hebrew alphabet. That sounds so engaging. And Reverend Elijah and Rabbi Eli will be installing the peace pole in the front garden before the service. So check this e-news. Check this out in our e-news for more information. And finally, I believe it's finally, I'm getting there. I can do this. Next Sunday, we are not having our regular service because we'll be downtown for the Out in Our Faith, Interfaith Pride service. It will start at 9:30 a.m. in the courtyard by the Hidden Peak Tea House downtown on Pacific Avenue. A number of faith leaders will speak, sing, and share their wisdom. The program will last about 45 minutes. Look for the Out in Our Faith banner to come and join. Immediately after the service, we'll begin lining up to march in the Pride Parade at 11 o'clock. Check this week's e-news for more information. And now I'd like to invite up Jessie Crease. See, I said it. I knew I could do it.
Hi, everyone. So I'm just going to ask, as we tap into our mission, purpose, and vision, to just join me, whether you want to close your eyes or read it. It will be on the screen. We'll speak it together mindfully. For me, mindfully is actually not being in the mind and going into the heart. So just speak it with me from a heart space. Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Our vision is a world that works for everyone and all life on earth. We are a community dedicated to possibility. Y'all said that really well. So now I'm going to take a moment to speak into our inclusion statement. We stand with all centers for spiritual living around the world, grounded in the knowing and teachings of Ernest Holmes, speaks directly to liberty, equality, equity, inclusion, human rights, compassion, safety, self-determination, and spiritual living. Yes. For that reason, we are unambiguously in support of the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Yes. Unambiguously in support of gender equity and equality. Yes. Unambiguously in support of LGBTQI lives. Yes. And unambiguously in support of women being the sole decision makers about their lives, well-being, dignity, and choices. Yes. Whew, something about that one always fires me up. I wonder what it is. So let's just take a moment and feel the ground beneath our feet. I just ask that you take a deep breath in. We always begin our morning by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Awas-Awas-speaking Upi tribe, the Ama Mutsun tribal band. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor the ancestral and current struggle of the original people of this land. giving gratitude for this space and this time. Allowing yourself to relax. Closing your eyes. Breathing into that space I spoken to earlier, the heart. As we tap into this infinite now, this space of believing, of seeing, of knowing, of witnessing, of connection, of community, of love, of light, the allness, the fullness, the expression of you and me, that space of purpose. Knowing that in this very moment, you are exactly who you need to be. Exactly as you are in this very breath that you take, you are a blessing. You are the gift of source, of God, of wonderment, of excitement, and you are here to be that expression of love. Love for yourself. As we take this moment to love ourselves, we know that that ripples to those that surround us. So I offer up in this very moment, if there is anything weighing on your heart, whatever you may be navigating in your day-to-day, I know, and lift this up into prayer, that there is ease, there is flow, that there is opening, and that the abundance of this universe, this lavish abundance, showers over you. It is your inherent birthright to receive. It is your inherent birthright to be loved, to be cherished, to be cared for. So I bless this space of receivership and opening, knowing that things are being orchestrated in your path in this very moment to bless you, that miracles abound, that magic swirls in your world, that this breath you take is a miracle. So rest in that today. Lean into the arms of the angels and know that you are so infinitely blessed in the here and now, that you are exactly where you need to be. There is nothing else you should be doing. Release the should and be. So I bless this service. I bless our wonderful guest here today, knowing that she radiates in that space of love, in this infinite now. In gratitude, in joyful expectancy for what is to come in your life, I release this prayer and I say yes. Yeah, let's all say yes today. Yes. And so it is.
God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind. God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my mind. God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind. God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. Peace inside the earth, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside the earth, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. When there is peace in my mind, there will be peace on the earth. And now I'm so privileged to step into the role of special musician. Yay! I feel special. Thank you. And first, I want to just take a moment to really thank the band for their support, for their inclusion, and for showing up here every week. And each of you, each of you is so talented, so adept, and so supportive. And actually, if you wouldn't mind, would you all stand up and give them a standing ovation? Yay! Stay standing, because we're going to bring you a rockin' tune from the 60s civil rights movement era about freedom. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish I knew how it would feel holding us apart. And I wish that you could know what it feels like to be me. And then you'd know and you'd agree that every single person must be free. I wish I could give all that I'm longing to give. I wish that I could live like I'm longing to live. And I wish I could do all the things that I can do. I'm a little bit overdue, but I'm starting anew. Yeah, all the dancers, come on up, come on up, come on up, come up. Woo! Yeah, get up here and dance with me. Woo! Freedom, freedom. Well, I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be when I found out, well, I could fly. Well, I'd fly up to the sun and look down upon the sea. Yeah, and I'd sing because I know how it feels to be free. Sing it with me. And I'd sing because I know how it feels to be free. Sing it again. And I'd sing because I know how it feels to be free. One more time, yeah. I'd sing because I know how it feels to be free.
Can I just say that I love the house band? Oh my goodness, y'all are awesome. And happy Sunday. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here with you. And I bring you greetings. First of all, before I do that, I need to keep myself on track because I can get off track. As I was sitting over there, just wanted to acknowledge that I'm playing on a team where Jessica, Shira, and I sit on a team together. We're We're here in Santa Cruz together, and so I'm delighted for that. I just want to acknowledge it. And I bring you greetings from the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, which is on Huichin, Chochenyo people territory. And your Elijah, Reverend Elijah Christopher, Reverend Elijah Christopher is there right now because we did a pulpit swap. So I love the collaboration, and I'm being well taken care of, and I know my people are taking care of them. So yay for that. Yay. It's so good today. I want to take a moment to pause. This is the weekend that we celebrate Memorial Day, and I want to acknowledge our people, any of our people who have given of themselves, their service to serve this country. And I invite you, if you're willing and able, you're welcome to stand. If you have someone who did serve and lost their lives, you're welcome to stand or raise your hand, and let's just take a moment of silence. Go ahead if you'd like. We send them love. Blessed be. Thank you for standing. And so you all know about the CSL global themes that we've been working with. I know Elijah has informed me of what y'all have been up to, and so have we in Oakland. And I do, as you heard Sky mention, serve on the global themes team, and I'm delighted with this month, Light Within the Shadows. But first, we're working on this year, Living Out Loud. Anybody want to live out loud? Yeah? I'm in the right place. Light Within the Shadows this month in May, and I was am pleased to have written an article here in the Science of Mind magazine. If you haven't caught it, you should, about Light Within the Shadows, and I was blessed to have written about the topics. And so the topic for today is lights, camera, action.
Okay.
But first, I enjoy call and response. I know my community does, and I can tell y'all do too. So I'm going to say a couple of sentences one at a time, and if you feel so called, moved to repeat them with verve and zest, I invite you to do that. You ready to play?
Yeah.
I figured you were. Here we go. I am glorious and magnificent.
I am glorious and magnificent.
Ooh, I love it. I can feel it. I shine my unique light on life's center stage.
I shine my unique light on life's center stage.
Oh, very good. Last but not least, I am rich and abundant.
I am rich and abundant
In both the light and the shadows.
in both the light and the shadow.
Yay us. And hello, live streamers. Okay, so when we talk about light within the shadows, we have been trained and socialized to fear the dark. And I'm here to tell you, I've learned firsthand, you have to learn it for yourself, but I'm here to tell you that the shadows and the darkness are rich and juicy. They're fertile, and we can't live without it. It's the light and the dark together, whether you like it or not. So you might as well get to like it, right? Right. There's something in there, and as metaphysicians in this philosophy that we call science of mind, we have tools and spiritual practices and philosophies that can help us get underneath in those spaces where we have feared up until now, and where it has sabotaged, perhaps, our prayer work. Because we have these hidden beliefs that we're telling ourselves that sometimes we're not even aware that we're telling ourselves. And then we wonder why we got what we got when we thought we were looking for something else. You with me? Okay, so we're here to unearth and love up the shadows and the dark space. And what does that have to do with lights, camera, action? So how are we showing up in our starring role? In the role of our own play, in our own life? Are we the lead, or are we the supporting actor? Or are we possibly the antagonist, giving other aspects of ourselves grief, and even, and I put these three together, guilt, blame, shame. They go together. Where you find one, you find the others. Are we satisfied with our role and with our script, even with our performance? These are things that I'm asking, not just for you to ponder right now, but I want you to take this out into the world. This is a practical teaching. I want to seep into your soul to allow you the opportunity to look at it and to explore it. And what I love is to lean in with curiosity and wonderment. When you do that, when you lean in, if I lean into you, it's open. I can't lean in like this. I have to lean in and be open. And when you're open, you get the answer. You'll hear it if you're looking for it, if you're open and receptive. So I ask about this starring role. What would you change if you could? Do we even like our story? You know, we're good at telling ourselves stories, right? And sometimes we even live in the story that sabotages, as I mentioned earlier. And it's swirling around, and sometimes we don't even know we're telling the story. That's why meditation is so good. And people say, I can't really meditate. Yes, you can. Why do they say that? Because they feel like they can't sit still. They feel like their mind can't clear. Well, unless you practice it, you won't be able to. But the more you practice it, the quieter you get, the more you allow that stuff that's in the underneath to come up so that you can see it, you can witness it, you can heal it, and you can release it.
Amen.
So,
Yeah.
this is the way it works in our science of mind philosophy. This is straight up science of mind, what I'm talking about. You know, our spiritual practices help us to what I call in my doctoral work, which is about authentic self-expression. I have several original concepts in there, and I'm going to give you one right now, and who knows, by the end of this, I may give you a couple. It's called the putter process. Putter. It's like you might putter around. Here it is. Peel, uncover, discover, and recover your authentic self from within. In order to be able to see who we really are, we have to peel the layers and uncover, allow it to come up and recover even, and discover ourselves from the very core. Then we can take our center stage. Sometimes we might take the stage, and if we've been allowing those people who will get into our minds and tell us who we are if we let them, they are dictating what role we play. They're dictating our story and our script. And we wouldn't be here if we didn't want to do more, be more. Help Mother Earth to be restored, for us to live here together. What does CSL say? To make it a world that works for all. This is the way we do it, is to do our part. If we work on ourselves, if everybody stayed in their lane and worked on themselves, we wouldn't be where we are today.
That's right.
So that's how you do it with the putter process, right? Peel, uncover, discover, and recover our true authentic self. Then we can create a new story, one that serves us and serves the world. And we can heal our trauma that these old stories have plagued us with. So, you know, some people want to live in dress rehearsal. And because they don't want to move on to the real thing. When you move on to the real thing, guess what? It requires accountability and responsibility. And some people don't want to take that. They don't want to take responsibility for something they've done or said to themselves or someone else. But when you do, it's a healed space. And people are afraid sometimes, we are afraid sometimes of messing things up or drawing too much attention or being too bold or living out loud. Has anybody ever experienced a feeling where people feel like they are too much?
Yes.
And what do? You believe it.
Yeah.
And you dumb down
Yes.
because I'm too much.
Right.
Who said? What makes you think they're right? Spirit created us unique, each and every one of us. There's no two alike. No two blades of grass. They look just alike, maybe. Twins, grains of sand, leaves on the tree. Y'all have heard this. No two are alike, even if they look alike. Or else there would have been one. Spirit wouldn't have put us here if it didn't have a reason for us to be here. Like Jessica said, we are on purpose. We have a reason for being here. So why not live up into it? And discover who we are. We may have a unique laugh, or we may have that innate quality about us that calms people and makes them feel welcome. Or we may have the bug of an activism that causes us to be out on the front picket lines. Or we may be that one who likes to meditate and hold the space. Whatever it is, it has a purpose. And I invite you to live up into it and come on to this center stage of life. I'm all over the place. I have notes, but I just let it kind of go wherever it goes, you know? You know, it's all about choice. We get to choose. I tell my congregation all the time, you can choose to be as miserable as you want for as long as you want, or you can change it. And if you found yourself miserable and you had some accountability in that, don't allow yourself to feel the guilt, blame, shame that I talked about. You might, but let it pass. We don't have time for all that. Don't waste time feeling guilty or shameful or blaming yourself about that. Forgive yourself. Talk about the word self-forgiveness. That's the word I thought of. Self-forgiveness. Forgive yourself so that you can move on and then make another choice. In the next moment, you can make another choice. In the very next moment. It's up to us to bring what we need to bring to have our life be the highest quality and the best that it can be. And I ask, are you holding back? And be honest with yourself. I'm glad. I heard a yes and a no. Right, baby, that's fine. I love that. The young ones, they said they're not holding back. That's okay. But listen, the only person that you'll be deceptive with is yourself. Because you'll know when you're not telling the truth. You can't avoid that. One of my biggest teachers said, once you know, you can never not know again. And that means once you know the divine, you can never not know that again. You can ignore it. You can act like you don't know it's there. But you know when you're not telling the truth about something. So it's our opportunity to take this center stage, to be authentic, to be conscious, to tap in, to dig deep. If you want, we get the chance to beam our light. That's what Jessica was saying. To beam our light, no matter how much darkness we are currently experiencing. Let me say that again. We get the chance to beam our light, no matter how much darkness we are experiencing. Some people feel like they are mutually exclusive, that if I'm standing in the light, I can't, or if I'm standing in the dark, I can't stand in the light at the same time. And I'm here to tell you I don't believe that. Because you can find the light within the shadows. The shadows are rich the last couple of years for me, personally, especially during the pandemic. I was in a dark time. Oh my goodness. And it took me to get through it to realize how much I was in it. But you know what? The higher realms taught me to surrender into it, to let it go. You've heard that saying, what you resist persists. If we hold on to the tension, what are we going to get more of? Oh, how are you going to feel relaxed when you're all balled up like this? To the degree that you can pray and release and surrender and let go, doesn't that just feel different? You just saw my body language. You open up, you lean in. That's what I did. I leaned into the darkness. And I said, okay, I don't like you right now. But if I did, what do you have for me? Why are you here? I found the courage and what my grandmother called, I called her Grammio. I call her Grammio. She's on the other side, bless you. Her holy boldness. I had to find my holy boldness to lean into the shadows to hear what it had for me. And guess what? It helped me heal. It helped me not only to find and discover my light, because I already had it, I never lost it. It helped my light shine brighter through the shadows. And I discovered different aspects of myself. When I really paid attention, I let myself feel my emotions rather than push them away. Because they're all important, right? And then, with Grammio's holy boldness, I was able to invite all of them to the table and say, you are welcome here. So that I could experience greater wholeness and greater oneness. Therefore, I can take my center stage and not hide and not let it have to be an act. That I'm really living life fully, like I was intended to, which means that I'm living on purpose and in service to life. Are you doing that? I'm asking.
So much more.
So in my early 20s, as I was preparing for this, I was thinking, in my early 20s, just yesterday, I wanted to be a high fashion model. And so I did some modeling. I went to Los Angeles, I took some training, and I was doing some modeling, and what I realized, because I wanted to be a top model, but I began to sense and realize that I might have to do or say or become some things that didn't feel comfortable for me to do or say. And I might be out of my own integrity. So I ended up leaving that dream because I didn't want to sacrifice myself that way. But now, if I got back into modeling, even though I'd be an older model, I could do it now. I could do it and do it with attitude. Because I know who I am. Not to say I didn't know who I was then, but I didn't know how to be myself and be that. But I know how to be myself wherever I am because I take myself with me wherever I go. So, as I thought of this, and I was like, okay, this makes sense now, because I'm a sparkle girl. You wouldn't know it today, but I got on colors and flowers and stuff, so I'm bright, but usually my community knows I'm sparkling. So I promise you, if I come back here next time, I'm going to be sparkling, okay? But because I guess I'm just into this glamour thing, into glamour and sparkle and shine or whatever. And some people don't want to do it like that. That's fine, I got that. They may have something else. We all need to do it our way. I'm living unapologetically, and I invite you to do the same. If we choose, back to choice, we get to show up and show out. Hear me. I'm telling you something that I hope you can take with you. We get to turn it on, turn it up, and take center stage and show the world and ourselves who we truly are as a full expression of God. That's my message for you today. Lights, camera, action. And even through these times of oppression and injustice that are inequitable, we can still shine. When I look at my ancestors, they did that. They had so many things to hold them back that they pushed through and were resilient no matter what. And you know what? They had their spirituality to ground them and lift them forward. we can still rise above whatever the situation is and turn towards. You know, we talk about mental equivalence. You know what I always talk about the continuum in the sky. I draw it in the sky. If fear is on this side, we can transform that and transmute it to faith on the other side. We turn towards, if I'm turning this way, what's on this side? Fear. Okay, what am I going to see? Fear. There's no way I'm going to see faith back there, right? Because I'm focusing here. But if I work on through my spiritual practices, transmuting and knowing and believing and having Gramiot's holy boldness, eventually I'm going to face this way. I might be like this for a minute. You know, my body's facing toward faith, but I'm focused on fear. But eventually it's going to focus this way. So we need to focus on fortitude and resilience and healing and transformation and whatever else it is that we want to experience. And so as I wind this down, I'm looking at, I could go on and on. I got so much material here. It's so rich and juicy, I'm telling you. How many of you know that we're in the Great Turning? Anybody ever heard of the Great Turning? Yeah, and what that means is that we are moving from a world of the patriarchal, capitalistic structures that we grew up in that have caused some of the issues that we're having into something else, something that works better for everyone. And we, as what I call light workers, you're a light worker, I know you are, whether you claim it for yourself or not, we as light workers are activating these spiritual practices along with the higher realms and moving us in this direction to manifest this new world of truth. That's what I believe. It's a poignant moment that is ripe for change. And so ask yourself, am I doing my part to help the underserved, the underrepresented, the underprivileged in creating these opportunities? Am I doing whatever my gift is? Am I bringing my light? Am I shining my light? Am I doing my work to help crumble this other stuff Bell Hooks called the imperialist, white supremacist, capitalist patriarchy? That's what Bell Hooks said. It is, but it works. Are we looking at and moving through our privilege, our position, our authority, our voice, to educate and inform people of the next steps? How are we playing our role? Are we complicit, or are we standing up and standing out? And as I bring this to a close, or attempt to, I'm reading this book. I brought it to show you. And it's about the rest movement. Rest, R-E-S-T, rest. Anybody ever heard of rest as a movement? No. What a notion. The book is Tricia Hershey. I invite you to get it, to read it. It's really quite something. Rest is Resistance, a manifesto. And she has what she calls a NAP ministry, NAP. And so her whole thing is about, we've been socialized through, and she's especially talking about black and brown people in here who have come from a legacy of enslavement, unfortunately. And, but it pertains to so many of us who have been socialized in this world order of we gotta do. We gotta do, and we gotta hurry up and do it. And if we rest, we only have a minute to rest, and when we're resting, we're not really resting because we're thinking about what we have to do. As a form of resistance, she's encouraging we pull back from that we retrain ourselves, and that we allow ourselves to rest as a form of resistance, as a form of changing from that capitalist, not even changing from, unlearning the capitalistic grind, she calls it, the grind culture, where we have to grind and we have to do these things just instead to be. Learn to be. So when I was thinking of lights, camera, action, I was thinking rest. Wow, rest as a movement. That's a part of the lights, camera, action. When we think of that, it's like ready, set, go, you're on. What if we said ready, set, go to rest? Can you imagine? Where you learn to breathe more. You learn to relax. I remember going on vacations, and it took me several days before I was even in the vacation mode because I was so wound up. How do we let ourselves wind down to be and to hear what God has to say? So this light within the dark and the shadows has something in it. Tease it out for yourself. Prioritize yourself to rest. Prioritize yourself to explore this that I'm talking about. So here's really, I'm going to bring it to close. I keep saying that, huh? And I keep seeing something else. It's like, oh, but I got to tell them that part. We're all here for such a time as this. To support the healing of the planet. I believe that, or else we wouldn't be here. All its life forms and beyond. And our individual lights help light up the collective light for us to shine brighter. And it all brings us to the center stage. What we may call the imperfection of God is really the perfection of God. We're perfect just as we are. Just as we are. There is no such thing as being broken in God. We are as we are and can show up just like that. I'm here to tell you, you are welcome here. I know y'all know that you're welcome here. I'm talking broader. We are all welcome here. We must realize that there is wholeness even in what seems like is brokenness. There is healing in the midst of the vulnerability and courage. That's what it takes for the healing, to come raw and naked. If we bring our light and our shadows, our nooks and our crannies, and everything else to the center stage, it makes for an authentic, genuine, and stellar performance and participation in life. It's not only holistic with an H, it's holistic with a WH. And that's what it's all about. That's it. That's it. So in the spirit of that, let us take this to prayer. Oh, infinite, perfect Spirit, you are welcome here. You are welcome here in my consciousness. I welcome you into this space that you created as me, and that I am created, and we all are created in your image and likeness with it, which is eternal and forever expressing. So right now, we, in the sound of my voice, recenter ourselves in your perfection as us. For we are as you are. You are the infinite and the eternal presence, that divine and creative source of everlasting life. And we are that. We are individualized expressions of that. Oh, what a joy and a glory it is to know this, and to accept it, to receive it, to lean into it, and to grow more and stretch more into that infinite presence as us. It is from this place that we allow the knower within us to know the divine truth. And I speak this word on behalf of everyone here, knowing that truth, harmony, love, joy, peace, clarity, understanding, trust, faith, holy boldness, opening up, to the light and the shadows, and whatever else it is, abundance, harmony, joy. You call it out. What is it that you want, that you need? Call it out. Let me hear it. Put it into this space. Beautiful. All the live streamers, you're calling it out too. And I invite you to call out the names of the people that you want to pray for that are on your prayer list. Put it in this vortex of love. Feel free to call their names out as I continue in prayer and as we lift up into this open space of holiness, of joy, and of fulfillment. I know that those that we are praying for are receiving exactly what they need in the ways that they need it right here and right now. For the infinite presence of God is everywhere all at once, in fulfillment, in completion, in the knowingness, in the realization, and in the demonstration of divine truth. I am so grateful for this. And I bless this Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Cruz, and Reverend Elijah Christopher, and all the practitioners and the board and the congregation and the youth and those who are live streaming in and those guests and people visiting. And I also bless my community of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where I know Reverend Elijah is praying them up right now too, and where our prayers meet. Because we have opened ourselves to the divine idea of a pulpit swap. This is God in action.
Yes.
We are simply being used as a vessel for truth to manifest. And what I know is it extends out into all places and spaces, counties, cities, provinces, states, countries, our whole world, Mother Gaia, this beautiful blue planet. I bless her and know that she is healed and restored. I bless the higher realms and our ancestors and angels who are supporting us through all of this. And as we unite as one collective, whole, universal, global team, I know that we are lifted and loved, that this truth that I am naming and claiming, that we have named and claimed together, is already made manifest even before the prayer is complete, because God is like that. God is instantaneous good right now.
That's right.
And so I give thanks for it. All I can do is be joyful and thankful and in total gratitude. And so I lift this word of truth up into the divine ethers of love and law, knowing that it is activated and that it is made manifest and that it showers onto us blessings of abundance right here and right now. Oh, I am so grateful. Oh, I am feeling so good and so inspired, as I know we all are. And I know that this word precedes us and goes before us and prepares the way and helps us through those moments that we may forget. We may temporarily forget the truth, and this word taps us on the shoulders and says, hey, baby, let me remind you of this, that you are God's beloved. And that is happening now. For this and the more, I let it be, and I rested in truth. Join me, won't you, and declare, and so it is. Praise God. Amen.
Hello? Yeah. Again, thank you. This song is, well, I'm going to dedicate this song to Grammy-O. Yeah. And to our dearly departed. we climbed the endless sky and held each other near, and there we'll stand, looking out upon the world that we've known. All fear will be gone when we reach the shores of Avalon. When we reach the shores of Avalon. When we reach the shores of Avalon. Be brave, my love.
Wow, thank you so much. That was so lovely. Hi, I'm Chaplain Cheryl Strumstead Snyder, and I'm pleased to be invited to do the offering. So I'm going to ask the ushers to come forward. And as they do, if you would please repeat after me. For all that I am, for all that I have, for all that I give, and for all that I receive, I am truly grateful.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your joy. Pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit.
Sweet, wonderful Spirit. Sweet, wonderful Spirit. We are so grateful and so blessed to be able to be together this afternoon, to share the abundance of the universe in this Center for Spiritual Living, knowing that as we give, so too do we receive, abundantly, pressed down and overflowing. So we are so grateful for those of us that step forward and say yes to supporting this Center for Spiritual Living, for all those that are showing up with their talents, with the grace that they have been given. We are so grateful for everybody who has showed up in the music industry, that all the prayers that are happening with the practitioners and the ministry here, as you submit a prayer that is in the prayer box, we bless those prayers. The practitioners and ministers take this so seriously. It is an honor and a privilege to hold you all in prayer. So come to us with your celebrations. Come to us with your needs. And this morning, as we are gathered together, if anyone here is seeking healing in the physical body, feel free to stand and receive the willingness to receive that healing in your body temple. And if anyone here is feeling the need in the area of abundance, please stand and join us with your finances and prosperity, and know that you are being held in that prosperity and abundance of love that moves through your life. For anyone seeking healing in the areas of grief, love, relationships, or forgiveness, stand into your willingness to receive that opening of the heart. For anyone and for all who are willing to see the light in the darkness and shine our light into the world, please stand and say yes. And as we have already prayed for others with Reverend Dr. Sunshine, we hold those beloveds in our heart right here and right now, knowing that as we spread our love, as we stand in our authentic truth, that our prayers are heard, that we are claiming our good, and that we are indeed the gift to the world that the world needs right now. We are so blessed and so grateful, and we release this word now, knowing it is done as we know and as we believe, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay, we have one more song for you, so get ready to rock on. Let's do it. Many pray along the way. They don't stop to wonder what the world is coming to. They let something higher reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah. So the truth is telling me, sing of liberation for the ones who are not free. Love can take us higher, reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah, so we let it wash us, we let it take us higher, we let it make us kinder, we let it be, we let it early in the morning, we let it hold us together, we let it now and forever, we let it be, we let it. Let me cry along the way, walking through the sadness in a world that needs to know love can take us higher, reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah, still the truth is telling me love's the only answer, and to all humanity we can stay inspired, reveal the way to greater love.
Yes. Can we hear it again for our featured musician, Valerie Byrne, and the CSL House Band? Woo, we're rocking it. I want to also thank Susan and Maggie for our tech gurus back there. Ellen and Chris in the kitchen. Yay! Thank you, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle. I want to remind you that there are practitioners here today. If you don't leave here with a heavy heart, they like to hear your celebrations. You'll find them with their purple stoles on. Grab them. You can also submit prayer to prayer@cslsantacruz.org. And an extra reminder that we are not here next week. We will be downtown, 9:30 for the interfaith service. Reverend Elijah, they're speaking, as well as other interfaith ministers, and march with us. We're going to be a great contingent. Have a lovely, lovely week, and we'll see you in the social hall.